Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Updated Ark Basics, a show where we break down the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the all-arounds of Ark. That's right, we're talking about the ABCs. The A, it stands for Ark, the B for Basics, the C, whatever you want it to be. If you're interested in seeing the original one, the link is up here. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Ark Basics. I'm Phlinger Phoo, and today we're going to be discussing one of the earlier game mounts that you can get that is actually a really decent mount for traveling across the island, whichever map. I think that, and we're going to be talking about the Iguanodon. I think that the Iguanodon, personally, I think that it has a lot more uses on other maps than it does on maps like the island and stuff like that. Because the island and, just some maps, it's not as good. I mean, granted, these guys, they will run forever. This is one of the only dinos, actually, I think it is the only dino in the game, that doesn't have stamina drain when it's running. So it can seriously run forever if you wanted to. But on, say, maps like Aberration, this dinosaur, the Iguanodon, is so much more valuable than it is on any of the other maps because actually it will get you biotoxin pretty easily from the spore mushrooms on Aberration, which makes the Iguanodon miles ahead of what it is on every other server. But on every other server, instead of being a high-end gatherer like it is on Aberration, on every other map, they are a early game tame that you can use as a mount. They deal a decent amount of damage. Also, like I said, when they pop down on all fours, they can run forever. And also, they do have a couple other special abilities I want to get into. Now, in order to tame one of these guys, one thing here, let me back up. One thing that I think is unfortunate is that the level for the Iguanodon saddle is level 30. I think that I think that's a little bit too high because I think these guys, I think the fact that they're a level 30 saddle is that by the time people get to level 30, they've moved on to bigger and better things, which is most unfortunate, to be fair, is getting down here to level 30 because you'll notice there's Pachyrhino, there's Stego, down here at level 26, and, let's see, 29, there's Gallimimus, there's Megaloceros at level 30 as well, and then you get into, like, Mammoth, Deinonychus, you get into Terrorbird, Doedicurus, Sarco. I mean, it's honestly, that stage right there, everything just goes super fast, and unless if you're very fortunate enough to get a really high level one at low levels, I don't think that a lot of people will use these as much. And then, once you finally get up to, say, like, Sabretooth at 37, yeah, things just kind of... Sorry, Iguanodon. Alright, but hey, anyway, so in order for this, in order to do this tame, what we're going to be doing is the shopping list. What you need for the shopping list, for the most part, is you just need some bolas, a bow, and some trank arrows. That's it. It's really, really simple. I don't even know why I'm carrying this around. I'll probably cook. You know what? I don't even know why I'm carrying this around. All right, but yeah, that's really all you need. I wouldn't try knocking these guys out with, say, like a slingshot or a club to the face, like with the Parasaur. I would actually, honestly, I would wait until trank arrows and use this. Matter of fact, that kind of comes to mind that, honestly, I think that the Iguanodon saddle should be given at the same time trank arrows are, so level 21. But that's just my opinion. Unfortunately, it is what it is. So let's pop in. Let's go see where we can find these guys. Now, you can find them all over the map, actually. Any place where you see green. And yeah, any place you see green, you can find an Iguanodon. I could actually find one right here if I wanted to. Over there is actually a really good spot for finding Iguanodons. Any place on the map that isn't, super rocky, you can find, but every once in a while you can find Iguanodons that have wandered in there. And yeah, if you're looking for an Iguanodon, go to someplace green. It should be pretty easy. And I'm going to waste this guy. Oh, I've got regular. I'm going to waste this guy, and I will bring you guys back because we're going to go look for ourselves an Iguanodon. Alright, so here's one. Alright, now one of the easiest ways to do it is just go like this. Actually, we have access to crossbows, so I think I'm going to use the crossbow because, yeah. That's one of the benefits of it being level 20, or being level 30. Alright, so, that's only because this right here is actually a higher level one. So let's go like that. 8, and just like every other thing, all you do is come up, shoot it in the face with trank arrows. Using either a crossbow or a bow. If you're going to be using a bow, chances are it's going to take you a little bit to knock this guy out. But just like that, bada bing, bada boom, and he's unconscious. Alright, now what we want to do is grab some berries. I did see some dillos over here, so I want to keep an eye out for that. Grab some berries. Keep an eye on your surroundings because all sorts of different things will come over and try to pick a fight with it. So I'm going to be picking berries. Yeah, saving the narco berries, saving the measure berries. You can use kibble. What they take is simple kibble. Just for that, I'll have it up on the screen right there. And then, also, if you wanted to, you could use veggies. Veggies do work really well, but honestly, I would say just use berries if you don't have kibble. Yeah. Alright, so let's get this guy tamed up. And I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, and one thing you'll notice is, compared to, like, the Parasaur and stuff like that, this guy's gonna take quite a bit longer to tame. Just be prepared, as you get higher levels on the tiers, it does take a little bit longer, and not everything could be a Parasaur. Yeah, but, some things will, some things won't, but this guy right here actually takes a little bit longer, so when you go out shopping for this guy, just be prepared that you're probably going to have to be with him for just a little bit out in the wild. And then, yeah, when you're done, you can bring him back home, and it should be amazing. Alright, and once he's up, it's pretty actually simple. You can actually just make up its saddle within your inventory, which is kind of actually really cool. Alright, so let's pop this guy up, get a saddle on him, and then we'll discuss what this guy can do. Here we go. Like that. Alright, so now this guy right here, you'll notice that he has two different walking modes. He has this all four-legged sprinting mode, and this is the one where he just will not run out of stamina. Notice that up at the top right, his stamina bar just isn't even going down. It's not moving, it's not shaking, it's not nothing. So you can run forever like this. But one of the things is you cannot attack while it is in that mode. Alright, but if you want to go to the back legs mode, the one where he's just going on his two back legs, and not all fours, all you do is right-click. Either that, or you can just attack at the same time. See, and then it'll just pop you right out of it. But you notice when you're going like this, you move a lot slower, but your stamina does drain. And when it drains, it actually drains kind of quickly. But they also have the nifty ability, these guys can actually jump. These guys are really, really good jumpers. Alright, so, let's see. So, the left-click attack actually does a decent amount of damage. That is pretty good. They will not harvest up creatures, though, which is kind of unfortunate. But then again, herbivores generally don't. Alright, so, but they do gather berries. And they gather berries a little bit easier than a Parasaur would, which is pretty good. Alright, let's see. Let's just dump all that stuff. Alright, when they harvest up trees, it's primarily thatch, which is decent. It's a decent amount of thatch. It's not like, you know, anything amazing, but it is decent enough. Alright, so, another cool thing, here, let me gather up a bunch of berries here really quick. Another cool thing that these guys will do is when you gather up a bunch of berries, you can actually seed the fruit in your inventory, which means, here, let me show you. Alright, see all of these berries? Just turns a whole bunch of them into seeds. Now, this does actually have a cooldown, so you're going to have to wait a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. The only unfortunate thing with this is a while back they changed it to give seeds a spoil time, which, you know, that's That's kind of hit or miss because at one point in time they had no spoil time, which means they could have went forever. But now they do have a spoil time. But if also you want to seed up a bunch of stuff, put it in here. These guys do act as kind of a refrigerator, just like most other dinos. That they will increase the amount of spoil time that seeds will last, or anything will last actually in their inventory. So, yeah, you can seed up a bunch of stuff, have it last a lot longer than regular berries, and then you can use that in your drops and stuff. It actually works out really, really well. Right, but then again, that pretty much is, that's the Iguanodon. They are good. They are great mounts. They're great for getting all the way around. They do a decent amount of damage, nothing, too tremendous, but they do make pretty decent mounts. You can get into the thick of things and get out with a properly leveled one. So, yeah. All right, but then again, if I were to be leveling this up as a regular mount, there's a couple different ones that I would use. One would be, if I was using this as just a long-distance runner. If I was going for a long-distance runner, so I could get from one end of the map to the other, I would go with a little bit of health. Stamina, I probably wouldn't use very much because, honestly, he doesn't use up any stamina while you're running. I would go with a little extra weight so I could carry a bunch of stuff while I was going, and a little bit of melee damage just in case if I got popped out of there, and then maybe also some movement speed. That way there you could get from point A to point B really, really fast. Now, if I was going to be using this guy as like an everyday mount, I would probably I would concentrate a little bit more on health, a little bit more on stamina, because you're not going to be running around in all fours all the time, but you will be running around on all fours sometimes. But whenever you're not, you're going to want to have a little extra stamina. I would say probably about 1,000 stamina, maybe about 1,200 would be kind of ideal. I would go with a little bit extra weight, but not too much. A bunch of melee damage, and a little bit of movement speed. Now, these guys on movement speed, they don't get a lot per pump. They get more than others, but not a lot. So this guy, he gained 2% movement speed per pump, which means that it'll take a little while before he gets going really fast. But if you get this guy up to 130, 145 movement speed, these things haul butt. All right, so just know that if you're going to use these guys for across the map runners, yeah, get that movement speed up, get a little bit of health, stuff like that. These guys actually turn out pretty good. All right, especially when you're on all fours, because that movement speed, it does add up and it does matter after a while. All right, so anyway, I think that's probably just about it for the Iguanodon. They are good mounts. They're not the best mounts. I do think they should be a little bit earlier on the game, but, it is what it is. And, yeah. So, hey, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, make sure you click that like button. I really appreciate it. If you're new around here, subscribe. And until next time, this is Phlinger Phoo, and take it easy, everybody.